Thanks, Michael, for that. Yeah.
Sure. I just thought I'd put in a plug for them, and no, only because the work that they're doing with this series is actually so very educational, so in it's basically the history of the Black Arts Movement, and it's been pretty amazing. The last one I went to was a selected readings and discussions on Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man,
Hmm.
which is in my estimation, one of the best American novels ever written.
Right.
Nice.
Very good. Thank you. That's great.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So we
Good
have,
resource.
we don't quite have a quorum yet. We have 4 committee members here, I believe. So I am going to call the meeting to attention because I do not want to belabor at the time. And I'm going to call the meeting to attention at, I just made my clock disappear, at 6:34. We can't adopt the agenda or the minutes. So introductions is the community board. We are a lot of things. And one of the things we are is a connector. And so we like to do quick introductions. Now, I want to make clear, this is not the time to give the presentation if you are here to present. It's not the time to talk about the history of your organization or anything like that. It is a quick overview, just so we can know who everyone is in the room, because not everyone will be presenting. So I will start, and once you give your introduction, please choose the next person. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can all see each other. Okay. I'm Daria Hardiman. I am an artist by trade. I am a performing artist, actor, singer, and also a photographic artist. As we artists are, I do several other artistic things, but basically I pay the rent by acting and singing. I am the co-chair of this committee. I have been on the community board for about 8 years. I've been in West Harlem for my entire 25 years of being in New York, originally from Ohio. And I have a passion for this community and for the arts. So here I am. So I choose Nora Armani. You're on mute, Nora.
Sorry. I'm so excited. Suddenly I'm speaking to myself. I'm so excited to be here finally, because I've been wanting to come and present for a while now. And for lack of knowledge how to manipulate the system and register and all that, haven't been successful. We are the Socially Relevant Film Festival, and I hope to be presenting a little bit more in depth later on, so I won't take everybody's time now. So just to say that I've been living here in this community since 2012, and in West Harlem, basically. And I was in Inwood before, so it's not very far. And the festival has existed for the past 10 years. And this month we are celebrating our 10th annual edition. So I choose Stephanie Nelson.
Thanks, Nora. So my name is Stephanie Nelson. I have been in this community since 2005. And this is super exciting for me to be on this call. So thank you for having me. I am a dancer, choreographer. I'm the founder and director of my own dance company. It's just my name, Stephanie Nelson Dance Group. I run a summer dance program abroad in Italy since 2011 called Dance Italia. And I have a new art space in Italy called Motore 592. But I'm presenting tonight as well, and I'm super excited to let you know what we're up to in this local community. So thank you for having me. And I'm going to pass it to Faces of Harlem, Sade.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and happy Monday. So I'm Sade L. I am a social documentary portraiture and street photographer. I'm also the founder of Faces of Harlem. Also been doing activism and community work here in Harlem, where I've lived for almost 30 years now, 25 plus years, same location. I'm here on Morningside Avenue. And yeah, I'm here to present. I'm super excited. This will be our third year doing the iteration of Faces of Harlem, which is a 501, Faces of Harlem is a 501 non-for-profit organization, basically dedicating to shaping public art. We do photo exhibits, been doing that now since 2001. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Who do you choose?
Oh, I choose, let's go with Brad.
Oh, thank you, Sade. Thanks. I'm here, Brad Taylor. I'm the president of the Friends of Morningside Park. We're just thrilled that Faces of Harlem has been on the fence around Morningside Park for 2 years, and this will be the third year. So I'm really just here to give a shout out to Sade for all the great work she's done, and to support her in her third year as this thing moves forward. My only other claim to fame is that I'm the person that brought Michael Palma back onto Community Board 9 after he'd been away for a few years. But that's just my inside joke there with Michael. I was on the board for 10 years from 2006 to 2016.
Are you handing it off to me, I assume? Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely, I'm handing it off to you.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much. My name is Michael Palma-Mir, and as Brad told you, he got me on the board. And this year, Brad, this may be a little bit of bad news. I am not reapplying to be on the board. I've been on the board since 1992. And on and off again, and a little bit off when Brad invited me back. And so now I'm going to take a little bit of time off again in order to focus my attention on the West Harlem Arts Alliance, which I am the executive director of. This brand spanking new organization that's going to be serving, at least initially, West Harlem. Some of you may also know me as a photographer of our community. I had wanted to do a project called Faces of Harlem many years ago, and Sade beat me to it. Darn it. And
Join us.
only because I think Harlem is at least in our part of Harlem, West Harlem, is one of the most culturally diverse communities in all of Manhattan, if not New York City, maybe outside of Jackson Heights. And it would be great to celebrate that diversity and that multicultural vibe that is certainly within West Harlem. So I'm a photographer as well. I've been photographing events and community life here in West Harlem for the last 40 years. You can see that work at www.michaelpalma.com. And I will hand it off to, let's see, Daria, should I hand it off to you, or can I hand it off? Or you want to save
Gotta
yourself?
pick somebody who hasn't been picked.
Okay. Have you been picked? I thought you haven't been picked.
I was first.
Oh, you were first. Okay. How about, let's see. How about my pal and counterpart in Northern Manhattan, Martin Collins.
Evening, everyone. Thank you, Michael. My name is Martin Collins. I am with the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance as their Uptown Arts Stroll Coordinator. You can see all about NOMA on our website, what we've been doing for the past 16 years uptown. And this will be the 21st Uptown Art Stroll in West Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. And I'll have more on that later in the meeting. I will now pass it off to, let's see here, Michael Unthank.
Hi, folks. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Greetings to all. I'm not sure if that's a claim to fame or not, Brad, that you brought Michael Palmer back. I don't know. Maybe you need to look, check behind you and you leave wherever you are. Let that go. I'm Michael. I am the interim chair of the Children's Art Carnival, which is an organization that I will present about shortly over on Hamilton Terrace, that we're in the process of rejuvenating. And I've been here on 140th Street. I live on 140th Street and between Amsterdam and Convent. I've been here since '84, and I would find it very difficult to live anywhere else. So that's it. I'll pass it on to who is it? Jordan from Harlem Stage. How about that?
Excellent. Thank you very much. My name is Jordan Carter. I am the Education and Community Engagement Manager at Harlem Stage. I hope to be presenting later, and I'll tell you all about it then. And I'm passing it to Vanessa. Okay, I'll pass.
Okay. Oh. Hi. Okay. Hi. My name is Vanessa Milu. I'm from Hamilton Heights, actually, from this area, and I have a really diverse background in the arts. Actually, I graduated in 2018 from Central St. Martin's in curation, and I've been in and out of different spaces. I also have a background in theater arts too. Hey, Daria. And I'm not presenting, but I am just present in the meeting. So I'm gonna pass this off to, let's see, I'm gonna go to Amy.
Amy, before you start, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:45. We now have a quorum. So go ahead, Amy. Amy, are you there? Amy, tag youth. Okay, perhaps she stepped away. All right. I'm gonna go with Pinnacle, Brittany.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I am Brittany Couch from Pentacle, which is a dance-based organization in New York City, and I'm the education and outreach manager and also do some marketing. I will pass it on. I see a couple of familiar faces. I'll pass it on to Amanda.
Hi, Brittany. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, everyone. My name's Amanda Selwyn. I'm a choreographer and artistic executive director of Amanda Selwyn Dance Theater Notes in Motion. Notes in Motion is our arts education arm. We have been providing dance education to the New York City Public Schools for 23 years. And I'm going to be presenting about the work we're doing at Urban Assembly for the Performing Arts. And I will pass it on to Carlton Davis.
Hi, I'm Carlton Davis, and former TA president of Grand Houses and former recording secretary at the district, Manhattan North District Council president. And I'm glad to be aboard. Thank you.
And he's a community board member and a member of this committee as well. Who do you choose, Carlton?
Let me see. Amy? Amy?
I think Amy wasn't there.
Oh,
I'm here.
Okay.
Ashwin?
Okay, she's back.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I wasn't able to unmute myself. My name is Amy. I'm with Tag Youth, and basically Tag Youth is a community organization to try and keep children and teens off the street, as well as Teens Against Guns and Teaching a Generation. Oh, and I'm very glad to be here too, by the way.
Nice. Who do you choose, Amy?
I just choose anybody.
Yep. Anybody who hasn't presented already, who hasn't introduced themselves.
I'll pick Alanis.
My name is Alanis, and I am with Tag Youth Teaching a Generation, which also stands for Teens Against Guns, which we are an organization that helps, like Amy said, that helps youth come together to help and change our generation and our community. And I pick Hawa.
How are you there? Okay. Fama, are you there? Okay. Jonathan Senegub.
Okay, my name is Jonathan. I'm a member of the Arts and Culture Committee and the Community Board. I lived in the area for many years, and I'm an architect. And so, you know, that sort of, but please don't hold that against me. And we're welcome to all. I look forward to hearing from all of you. It's very exciting, you know, this time, you know, the presentations. I love them. So
And
I
also
pass it
co-chair
on.
of this committee.
Yeah, that's true. I work with Daria as co-chair, so it's been a good year. So Walter, did you go? If not, you're up.
I did not. Good evening to all on the call. Walter T. Alexander. I am a board member and a board member also of Senior Issues. Born and raised in Harlem in 1954, and today is my birthday at 69 years old and loving it.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
all.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
I'm sitting here responding to Facebook posts. Anyway, I have my arts exposure was basically in public, junior high school, and college. And I understand Harlem School of the Arts is getting ready to strike up another chorus thing. So I'll be singing again. I'm loving it. I love the arts in Harlem. And I can't wait till we get this dissemination of these artist stuff going on. And I love to see all you folks online because it's really let us know that we're coming back out of the pandemic and time to get back out there. And I will pick is Emi Tag Youth. Emi, E-I-M-Y, T-A-G Youth. Are you there? Okay, let's try. Oh, I guess to tell you. Okay, this Juan Colmenares. Juan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay, Juan, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Juan Colmenares. I am not an artist. I'm a high school teacher. I've been living here since 1993. I went to City College and I've been part of Harlem for a very long time. So now I'm here. I pick Liz Marie. Is she called already?
Hey, no, I'm Liz Marie. I'm 18 years old. I'm also part of Tag Youth, like my other friend said. We are a group, organization full of youth that come together to change the generation. We're here to be heard and learn from you guys, and we'll leave like more explanation later on, like you guys said.
Thank you. Who do you choose, Liz Marie?
Brad Taylor, Friends of Morningside Park, if we haven't done that.
I think he already went.
Okay, so Jordan C, Harlem State Education.
He already went too. Choose someone
Oh my
who's
God, I'm
on camera.
sorry.
How about Tidiane?
Okay.
Thank you, Liz Marie.
Sorry.
You're on mute. You're muted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
My name is Tijani Wan. I'm from the USA Mali charitable organization, also known as the Malian Cultural Center. We work to introduce New Yorkers, especially the large immigrant community of Harlem, to the Mandingo culture. Mandingo actually represent like a 6 West African countries. We want them to feel home here in New York and give the American-born children and grandchildren the opportunity to know about the Mandingo culture. We also have a citywide initiative financed by the CDF. And for the last 3-5 years, we've been working to promote cultural diversity at the encouragement of the Department of Cultural Affairs. So for the 3 last years, we've been working now with Indian dance groups. So our main goal is to promote Mandingo heritage, West African cultural heritage here in New York.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Don't give your presentation yet.
Oh.
We're just doing brief introductions right now. That's okay. Did you have anything else to say about yourself?
Okay, I'm originally from Mali. I've been here for 20 years. So I'm a New Yorker, basically. And thank you for having me.
Okay. Everyone else who's off camera, I don't know who's there and who's not there. I think the rest are.
I can do intros if you want, Daria.
You. Who was that?
Carolina.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Carolina or Caro, whatever you prefer. I am a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in Harlem. I grew up on 155th and St. Nicholas Place. I now serve on the community board. This is my first year serving on the community board. I am a photographer. I do lifestyle and street photography. And Sade, I completely love your Faces of Harlem. I have walked past Jackie Robinson, and it's an absolutely amazing campaign. And look forward to tapping into that network and the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Carolina.
Sure. And Daria, do I need to pass it to anybody else? Or?
I think everybody else is tagged.
No,
Ilana.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hi, sorry. I hope I'm the last one because I cannot keep track of everybody that went. So Alana Mercado, I've been on the community board since 2017. I'm on the Arts and Culture Committee. I'm also on the Housing Committee. I'm originally from the Bronx. I'm an attorney, but I have a visual arts background. I went to LaGuardia, the Fame School for Visual Art, and I paint, draw, and I do photography whenever I get a chance to. So.
Did any of the tag youth any more want to introduce yourselves? Okay, so we're going to move on to announcements. Committee contact information. We're going to sort of keep announcing this because it's important. When you are trying to reach the Arts and Culture Committee, please CC, send it to one of us and CC. There's 3 email addresses that should be on your email. Mine, Jonathan's, and the committee dedicated email. Mine is daria@yahoo.com, daria@yahoo.com. I will put it in the chat. The committee email is CB9arts, ARTS, CB9ARTS @yahoo.com. And Jonathan's is
jonathan.synagogue1@gmail.com. I just put it in the chat. And just as a little piece of business, if you all could put your email and contact information in the chat, it would be very much appreciated. And we could keep the connections alive that way. Thank you.
So I just wanted to say, Jonathan, your emails keeps bouncing back. So every time, you send out an email to all, the email you have attached keeps bouncing back.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. I do apologize. I don't know why.
I think, you know, Jonathan, sometimes I put an O at the last instead of an A at the end of your name, THON. And so
Yeah.
maybe that might have happened,
Okay.
especially if it came from me, because I have it two ways in my.
Okay. Yeah, I think it came from you. So every time I've responded, it keeps bouncing back. So
Okay, so if he put
just
his
FYI.
correct,
Yeah.
the correct spelling will be in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
So we're going to move on to our committee reports. These are just quick updates, or there may be no update from different projects that are going on around the community that the Arts and Culture Committee are sort of following, involved with, and want to stay up to date with. The first one will be the West Harlem Arts Alliance. Jonathan Senegub is our liaison.
Yes, well, that's why I rely on Michael Palmer. So I'm glad he's here. And Michael, do you have, you know, a brief,
Sure.
Before you begin, this WHA, and you could probably do better, Michael, but the West Harlem Arts Alliance was created with the community board, this committee, and West Harlem Development Corporation to serve artists and artist organizations in MCB9. So we're you know, Michael, we're very pleased, has headed up the effort. And so, and we're glad he's here with us tonight. Michael Unthank, who's also here presenting, is also a member of WHAA, a director. So, so we're very lucky to have these folks here tonight to explain what all this is about. Go ahead, Michael, sorry.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and thank you for that wonderful introduction, Jonathan. I think a lot of people here have know about the West Harlem Arts Alliance, and I think I've been presenting here for the last 3 or 4 months, and so I don't want to take up too much time repeating the same thing. And if anybody wants to find out more about it, they can go to our website, www.whanyc.org. I'm going to put this in the chat.
Michael, we do have a different audience every month. So if you could give a just briefly tell everybody what it is.
Oh, sure. Well, as Jonathan mentioned, the organization is going to look to support artists and arts organizations throughout West Harlem, at least initially with the funding that we received, we will receive from the West Harlem Development Corporation as part of their management of the Community Benefits Agreement. And that will take on many different forms, from supporting, I don't believe we will, it could be anything from sponsoring initiatives. I will say that, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring up a piece of paper here that I wanted to share with everybody. And Daria, is there any way that I can post something to the chat, or is there a place where I can upload a document to share with everybody?
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so I go to share screen. Okay. And so what I'm going to be showing is our posting for a new job position. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry about that. A new job posting that we're going to have at the West Harlem Arts Alliance, and that is what I am going to put up now. And as you can see, can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so you'll see in that opening paragraph there, it says the West Harlem Arts Alliance is an art service organization with a mission to professionally resource, promote, and nurture the arts, artists, and arts organizations based in and serving West Harlem, and facilitate and develop collaborations through partnerships with local businesses, educational, and civic organizations to support the arts in West Harlem. We seek to provide critical linkages to make West Harlem an active and vibrant arts hub to enhance that enhances the community's quality of life and raises and broadens participation in the arts. And in a nutshell, that's what we are and what we intend to do. You can take, like I said, a deeper dive into the organizations on our website at www.whanyc.org. But I would like to upload this document because I'd like people to sort of download it if they can. And it is a job posting for a part-time, at least in the first year, a part-time position that hopefully will become full-time in the ensuing year for a program manager. And as you can see here, you'll see the little details about the job and the sort of job duties and job descriptions and recommended skills. We're looking to, the deadline for the application will be April 1st, and we're looking to start the position on May 1st. And so if anyone out there is interested, I encourage you to apply. It would be wonderful, although probably not mandatory, that the candidate can also speak Spanish, since roughly half of our people here in West Harlem are Latinos. And that would certainly go a long way in communicating with our community here in West Harlem. So Daria, is there a way that I can post this?
Perhaps, do you have a link you can put in the chat?
Or is it?
I can, what I can do is we can give it to our wonderful and amazing district manager, and I'm sure she will push it out. We are going to push it out in about a week or so, as soon as we can get our email blast system going. But I thought that I would give everybody here this sort of sneak peek preview and advance notice if they wanted to sort of spread it along right now.
Michael, if you could create a link, you could probably just put the link up in the chat if you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I can do that because I don't know what link it would be.
Okay.
You could
I can ask Chinzia to put it on our website and we can link it there. But I can't obviously do that right now.
Walter, can you make sure that you get the information from Michael to be distributed?
Is there any
I'm hoping to get the copy of the chat from you when the meeting is over. So I'll have all the information and we can add it to our spreadsheet.
Okay.
All right.
All righty. So it's really not possible to upload it here in the chat, I suppose. Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, you could maybe it would be a very long copy and paste even. So
yes, it would be. It would be.
Yeah.
Or if anybody, what I'm going to do also is put my name and information in the chat, and if anybody wants me to email them a copy, please, you can email me and I will send them to you immediately. But this is one of the things we've been working on, the sort of fine tuning the job description for, and we are now ready to make the posting and hopefully hire someone for May. But other than that, we're working diligently on several things, and if you can see in the job description, some of the things that we'll be doing here is we're conducting technical assistance workshops, artist database and CRM project management. We'll be scheduling a quarterly town hall meetings, and we are currently scheduling one right now with the head of the New York State Council on the Arts. We will be conducting a WHAA logo contest. We have already received a proposal and beginning to develop a West Harlem mural project. And we are still trying to coordinate with Columbia University the Monday Music at the Atrium, which is at the Forum on 125th Street and Broadway. So these are things that we're working on right now. They're sort of for us low-hanging fruit type of projects that we believe we can accomplish fairly rapidly in the next quarter or so. And I'm actually having a meeting with WHDC, our sponsor funder, and having them in discussion about these projects, and hopefully we can move them along judiciously. Other than that, I don't have anything else more to report. Michael, thank you. If I missed anything, please don't hesitate to chime in.
May I ask a quick question?
Sure.
You said you said it a couple times. We're doing West Harlem at least for now. Can you let us know what that means?
Well, it is my vision that West Harlem Arts Alliance will grow to be a citywide organization as we get citywide funding, not only from WHDC, but from foundations, corporations, other entities. And so certainly, just like sort of local organizations like the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council is a citywide organization, I think our vision, at least for the long view, is that we will be a citywide organization, or probably an organization serving or collaborating with organizations up here in Northern Manhattan, and not just in West Harlem, but also in Central Harlem and East Harlem.
Okay. Were there any more questions for Michael about West Harlem Arts Alliance?
Yes, I've got a question. It's Ewan.
Hi, Ewan.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I take issue with that last point, Michael. The West Harlem, if you think about the genesis of the West Harlem Arts Alliance, you know, it was organized to serve the West Harlem creative community. Why do you think that it's necessary to push out the services of this organization citywide or even beyond West Harlem? Every other community, you know, has been served either in funding or visibility, et cetera. West Harlem right now is like Harlem's stepchild, you know, and there are artists here that needs the either technical support or funding or whatever it is that can be offered through West Harlem Arts Alliance or the WHDC. They need that attention. They need that focus on the creative, the creative opportunities that are out there. They need the organizations and individual gig workers need to get the resources to strengthen their, whatever it is that they're doing. And I can't even speak. I'm so annoyed by it.
You and I agree with you 100%. I know you really shouldn't be so annoyed about it. I agree with you that, for a long time, West Harlem has been sort of like a stepchild of the three Harlems, East, Central, and West. And I think that now West Harlem is sort of coming into its own. It's Hamilton Heights, Morningside Heights, Manhattanville, and Sugar Hill are certainly areas that are now being developed and now sort of gaining a character of its own. We are a neighborhood filled with artists and arts organizations, and that is certainly going to be the vision of the West Harlem Arts Alliance for the foreseeable future. I'm just saying long view. Eventually,
even the long view.
I don't believe we can survive only on WHDC funds or funds from the CBA. That eventually will sunset. And we have to be able to diversify and grow. And I think the most logical thing to do is, at least initially, is collaborate with our partnering organizations like the Harlem Arts Alliance and the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance, at least as a way that once these WHDC funding sort of goes and the CBA sort of gets sunset, we were able to sort of expand and diversify the reach of our and the scope of our mission. I think this is something natural that many organizations done. NOMA has done it to a certain, certainly the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council has done it, and many other
Excuse
arts
me,
organizations have.
Michael.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking about funding, and I'm speaking about the service side.
Yeah, I am
And
speaking about
that's
the
what I'm
service side.
speaking of, and
Yeah.
I don't think any of the funders requires that their money, must be spent outside of the location of the grantee. What I'm saying
No,
is that
I believe. Mhm.
we need to really focus on developing and strengthening West Harlem creative community. And you haven't even started that. And even, I don't think it's, long-term even comes into this at this point. There's just so much numerous of other entities. And I think that's where the attention should be for the short term and the foreseeable long term. Until
I think it will
the
be, Ewan.
environment, forces a change on that.
I think it will be, Ewan, and believe me, I don't think there are enough resources out there for us to really do this. But eventually, we are going to grow into or move into collaborations that are eventually going to take us out of our community. Certainly with Central Harlem Artists and Arts Organizations and Arts and Arts Organizations in North Manhattan. And it's these collaborative efforts that are important, not only for those areas, but also for West Harlem.
I agree with that.
We don't live in a vacuum here.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's not what I'm saying. You're missing my point. I'm talking about the service side. I'm not talking about programming and collaboration.
Oh, no, yeah,
I'm talking about the
absolutely.
service side. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think,
talking about.
I believe we're saying the same thing, and I'm talking about the service side as well.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like it.
And,
All
and
right,
I don't
thank
want,
you.
and I certainly don't want to duplicate efforts that you and your
It
organization
has nothing
are
to do
doing.
with me. It's just that the community here needs that attention.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So I think
Thank
that-
you.
Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, Alana
I just had a specific question. I know you mentioned the Music Mondays, so I'm just curious, because we have the community benefits agreement, and there's that whole issue of providing artists with space within the district, and so I'm just curious, has that been advertised to musicians specifically within the district as that this is a performance space? Has there been outreach to musicians within the district?
Not yet, not as of yet. We are right now in communications with Columbia University and the managers that run not only the forum, but the other two building spaces in that complex. And we're hoping to iron out a way or sort of procedure. I was surprised to find out that there really is no procedure or established procedure that has been developed. And so I think we're going to take it upon our responsibility to develop that procedure to make that kind of announcement and facilitate the use of not only the spaces at the Manhattanville campus, but also other spaces along the campus-wide facilities like that falls under Columbia University's purview.
And they're doing a Monday night now, Michael.
I know, but they're struggling with having someone curate it for them. And since Michael and I have contacts in the community with artists and musicians in the community, we offered our help for them.
Yeah.
And they said they would love to have our help.
Yeah. So did we, but they, because not me, but the Harlem Cultural Collaborative and the performing groups within that collaborative. But yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Ewan.
Thank you, Michael.
Nora?
Yeah, I needed to say something that's very much related to this. there are a number of performance spaces in West Harlem, which unfortunately are not being made available to West Harlem artists. Like, for example, for our film festival, which I'm going to introduce a little later, one of the most obvious places for us to go was Lenfest Center for the Arts. And after weeks and weeks of not having any emails answered, phoning, leaving messages, and so on, finally they get back only to say to us, sorry, we cannot because it's being used by the arts department of Columbia University, which I don't believe that 24/7 the arts department is using it. All we needed was one Saturday afternoon. And this is something that needs to be regulated so that artists who are producing stuff that are not necessarily Columbia University students or groups come out of exclusivity and have access to these spaces, whether it's the forum or all the spaces that are sitting here not being used, or the Lenfest itself. So just a piece of
that you're absolutely correct there, Nora. And I think one of the things that what we want to do is be able to facilitate that process, find a method or find a way. And I believe Columbia University is interested in this because they would rather have one way or one organization sort of manage it with them that has probably more access to the community and community of artists here. And so we're trying to work with them. They aren't, as you already know, as responsive sometimes as they should be. They have a lot going on over there, and sometimes they get very distracted. But we are keeping up with them, and we are trying to sort of hopefully fill that void and be a facilitator for that, because you're absolutely right. The Lenfest isn't the only place. You know, they have the forum, and now the business, the new two new buildings there, the business school and the other one, I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah.
Have and offered their space to the community at community meetings. And then also there are other places on campus, like the Shapiro Theater, the Miller Theater, the Horace Mann Theater, you know, and there are many spaces. It doesn't have to be there. And
exactly.
So I hear you. I know it's very, very difficult, not only for arts organizations, but any organization, social or human resource or otherwise, to organize a meeting of more than 200 people in this community, because there just aren't the venues out there to have that sort of capacity. And so we're going to be working hopefully with Columbia University to sort of address that need. And that was a need that was very clearly articulated in the community benefits agreement. And we really have to hold Columbia University to that promise.
Totally, totally. And from my window, it's like we used to have a river view and now there's nothing because of these Columbia buildings that have come up. So I'm going, okay, at least the fringe benefit could be that we can have access to that space.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Faces of Harlem.
Yeah, so what I could add to this conversation in regards to accessibility and space, I think, you know, I have long-term experience in many various capacities dealing with Columbia, but as far as, you know, from a photographic experience and as a curator and facilitator, I would say the Wallish Art Gallery that, you know, has existed on 125th Street and Broadway in that new building, that has also not been accessible to local artists, which to me is very troubling. That's as much as I'm going to say to that. But it's really something to be considered.
Thank you. Actually, we're going to be talking about that right after this. I do, Martin Collins has a quick presentation. He has to be off for another call at 7:30. So I'm going to skip ahead and go straight to Martin, and then we're going to get back on.
Great. Thank you, Daria. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Good evening, everyone. Martin Collins with the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance, where I'm the Uptown Art Stroll Coordinator. And this June in West Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood, we will have the 21st Uptown Arts Stroll from June 1st through June 29th. We, at this time, are in the process of pulling together the submissions for the poster contest, and the winning artists will get to have this wonderful, let me change my screen here very quickly. Let's see here, background effects, none, okay. The winning artist from last year's poster contest was on the front cover of the guide, all 10,000 guides, the front cover of the fans, and is the masthead for the website and all of our publication materials. We're currently receiving submissions now for the poster contest. You can submit a photo, an image, or artwork for the 21st poster contest through April 2nd. And you can apply on the website, NOMA, NOMAA, NYC.org. The grand prize winner will be announced in April. $1,500 will go to the grand prize winner, $750 for second prize, and $500 for third prize. And that's open to all artists in West Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. The art stroll will open on June 1st, Thursday evening, June 1st, in CB9 at the Sugar Hill Museum at 898 St. Nicholas Avenue and 155th Street. It'll be from 6 to 8:30 p.m. that evening. It is free to the public, and more information on the opening will be on our website as we approach June 1st. We are also, this guide, which you see here, is a compilation, 40-page guide of all of events and exhibitions and open studios, which are calendared. And then I basically write this guide from the calendared events that come into me from artists and arts organizations. And you can submit all of your events, your exhibitions, and your open studios to us on our website. You just go right to the calendar. It says submit an event, and it's a very simple form. It takes about 30 seconds to fill out the form on our website. The stroll will go, as I said, the entire month and showcase the artists in Upper Manhattan from 135th Street to 220th Street is the catchment area of the Uptown Art Stroll. And if it's a few blocks here or there, we'll certainly put it in the guide and so forth. Also, we want to invite everybody to two events that we're having before that. First is the opening of the Women in the Heights. We will have artists from Harlem, Washington Heights, Inwood, El Barrio, etc. The opening reception will be on Thursday, March 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. here at our gallery space on the ground floor of 4140 Broadway and West 176th Street. And that is the 14th annual Women in the Heights exhibition. And finally, a pre-stroll concert on Tuesday, May 9th at the Harlem School of the Arts. We will have American jazz pianist and composer Emmett Cohen. He'll be joined by Grammy nominee and saxophonist Miguel Zenon at the Harlem School of the Arts at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 9th. A $10 suggested donation would be appreciated and will benefit the Harlem School of the Arts summer camp. I will put all of that in the chat, including my contact information. Thank you, Daria, and thank you, everyone, for letting me jump in, as I do have to go to another Zoom at 7:30.
Thank you, Martin. Did anybody have any quick questions for Martin before he has to jump off? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving on back to our committee reports. First of all, can I just say, I apologize for the chewing. I have a toothache, so I'm chewing on ginger. It's the only thing that is helping my toothache, so forgive me. Jonathan might have to finish this meeting, but I'm doing my best for now, but the chewing is just trying to stay alive right now. So the next committee report is also Jonathan, the CBA, the Community Benefits Agreement. And that this is actually going to touch on, we won't stay here too long, but it's going to touch on some of the concerns that were just raised about the spaces and the accessibility or lack thereof.
Right, so I'll be brief. The CBA, when it comes to arts and culture, there's a lot of misconceptions about what it provides and what is available to the artists and art organizations in this community. And there are other documents that kind of have been brought to bear, not just this community benefits agreement.
Before you start,
Yeah.
you, just for anyone who doesn't know, can you could just say quickly what the community benefits agreement
Yeah,
is?
so this benefits agreement was negotiated with the community board and the predecessor of WHDC and the city council, the city planning commission. And it was agreed to by the community board. And the co-signator was, one of them was the predecessor of WHDC. What it does, it lays out requirements that Columbia needs to provide to the community from housing, education, health, arts and culture, economic development, over the life of the agreement. The life of the agreement is roughly 25 years. And it was started in, the clock started ticking somewhere around 2007, 2008. So we're already well into the agreement, and some of the benefits have already expired. And when it comes to arts and culture, some of the provisions are pegged to the development of the Manhattanville campus. So not all of them are available now. Some of them may be available 10 years from now. It depends on the construction and the build out of the site. Michael Palma mentioned that he was in discussions with the folks at Columbia. We have been too. The board chair and first vice chair have we've taken numerous issues up with Columbia. There is additional documentation called the what's it called now? I can't even remember. The Declaration of Intent, which Covenant of Covenant. Thank you. That outlines, that really pegs the benefits to a timeline, and it's not a fixed timeline. As I said, it depends on construction. There could be delays, etc. I think that with regard to space in CB9, Columbia is not obligated to provide artist space. We talk about Lenfest, the Forum. They are obligated to provide meeting space for the community board for its general board meetings once a month. But beyond that, there is no fixed requirement for them to open up any of their existing facilities. And this is something we are now negotiating with them. We are now discussing with them. So it behooves everyone to raise their voice. The more we speak out, the more assertive we are, Columbia will pay more attention. And Columbia has created a community advisory council. What community, you might ask? Well, it's the Columbia community, made up of their own faculty, affiliates, yada, yada, yada. From the provost all the way down to, community development officers. So they're putting their weight behind their own objectives and trying to manage the whole situation in a sense from their perspective. So it behooves all of us to kind of parse the community benefits agreement and the Declaration of Covenants just when it comes to arts and culture. It's very dense and very convoluted. You have to be part lawyer and part accountant. And so it's not an easy go. But the more eyes on it, the better. And if you have any questions, comments, you can feel free to reach out to me. This is sort of my calling here at CB9, the Community Benefits Agreement. So with that, I'll end my little spiel, but do reach out if you have any questions or comments regarding this.
Were there any questions for Jonathan? Ilana?
So regarding the providing artists with space, I thought that was mentioned. I mean, I don't have it. I see that it's there, that you put it in the chat, but it's not opening because I'm using my phone. But I know there was something mentioned in there, but you said that that's something you're negotiating now. So can you be more specific as to what was mentioned?
Well, just from my memory, which is a little hazy today, but there was something like 5,000 square feet. You know, I think Daria, you might help me out, but there was square footage mentioned for various spaces, 5,000 and 12,000, something like that. But it's really specific to a location that's a particular block and lot number on their site, and that it depends on when they complete the construction of a certain parcel. So yes, they will provide this space, but it's pegged to the development, the progress of the development. Now, could we negotiate some interim space? That's possible, but that has to do with, you know, Michael Palma has been very good about keeping on Columbia and working with them to access space at the Forum. But the Forum is only one space, and it's really booked quite a bit. So we need to, you know, I don't think any of us want to wait 10 years for space to open up in some other part of Manhattanville for arts organizations. This is, you know, I can send you the actual, I can, you know, once I'm finished answering your question, I can actually open up the section of the arts and culture section of the declaration. But I don't think that would help us here tonight, really. You know, it's just, I can put it in part of the minutes. We can distribute it, you know.
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
put the
not a secret.
I put a link to the Declaration of Covenants
Yeah.
and also to the CBA in the chat.
Yes.
So
And it's on the CB9 website, you know, also, you know, that you can access it. But, you know, I sound like a broken record, you know, that the more voices, you know, that are raised here, the more support is given to CB9, the more we can, you know, the better we can address these issues with Columbia. They're not running away, but they're tough negotiators.
Walter.
Jonathan, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Columbia had established a new committee, an outreach committee. We're supposed to meet toward the community. They did not inform the community board about this. We informed them, how can you establish that and you don't advise us of what you're doing? We haven't heard from them. I haven't heard from them since. Do you know anything about that? Because we did liaison with them. Hopefully we can sit down with them to talk about this because it's about to expire.
Right. So I don't know if you're referring to the Columbia Advisory Council. I think
that must be it. Yes.
They did present to the community board. The council is divided into, executive committee, and then there's, I don't know, 6 or 7 committees that deal with specific interests in the community. It just, I don't think it's an accident that they didn't have a committee for arts and culture, nor did they have a committee for housing. So
Or the seniors.
yeah. So I think that we need to really get them to the table. And I'm relying on the board chair and the first vice chair to do that, because I think we all have a lot of questions for them, and I agree with you, Walter. They just are not. They formed this committee about 9 months ago, or maybe more. They formed the executive committee, and then about 6 months ago they sort of created these committees, and without the knowledge of the community board. I mean, it was like, this is what we're doing, and then after they did it, they presented it, sort of typical Columbia fashion.
Ewan.
So that's it. So I'll follow up with Victor, Walter, on this.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Well, just to quickly respond to comment on what John just said in terms of Columbia organizing a committee and then advising the community after. I just want to say that they're not obligated to do any of this. They can do whatever the hell they want and organize as many committees as they want to, and call it whatever they want to make it an easy sell or showcase it as a community thing. I mean, we can't force them to come to the to request that permission to do so, or to give the community notification. They can do whatever they want to. What I would like to recommend and suggest for consideration is that someone, the community board is the most obvious, organizes a meeting. There are too many people talking to Columbia. And what is the best way to get nothing done? You divide and conquer. You don't know what they're saying to any of the groups individually. And I think the situation is dire in terms of the creative community, finding some, and also the economic development committee is talking about this. So, yes. But if the community board could organize not a general meeting, but one specifically to speak about the creative arts in West Harlem and how there can be a much better working relationship, whether it's technical support or access to space. But we need to come together as one voice. That's the only way we can force them to do anything or to answer truthfully, having everyone in a room.
Yes.
Having 6 different organizations speaking to them and report makes no sense to me.
No, but that's not what I suggested, Yuan. I mean, first of all, I don't agree with you that they're not obligated to do anything. The Community Advisory Council, what is undermining the Community Benefits Agreement. That I asked a vice president or whatever his title was, I said, how does the Community Advisory Council and the Community Benefits Agreement, how do they work together? And you know what the answer was I got? I got no
You didn't
answer.
know.
No, I got no answer.
Yeah.
No, because they know that the Community Advisory Council undermines the community benefits agreement. They know that.
But
And
it's
they
a committee, but it's a Columbia Community Advisory Committee, which they can create if
Yes,
they want.
they can do that, and they can do that whatever they want with their
Right.
advisory council, but they cannot do whatever they want with the community benefits agreement.
I agree.
And with the
Well-
declaration, you know, they cannot just willy-nilly create things and, you know, ignore a legal document that is overseen by the state.
All
You
right,
know,
well,
they can't do that.
well, it's two different things. They're
No,
doing a
it's not two
committee
different
and they're
things.
doing the
They're
benefits
interrelated.
agreement.
I'm sorry, Yu Chen. They're not,
Yeah,
they're not.
all
two
right, well,
different- we can debate this
agree
all
to
night.
disagree, yes.
Well,
yeah.
we don't disagree. You know, I've taken up, you know, a lot of your suggestions, the 197A plan, you know, where, you know, a big discussion around that. And that, you know, you are correct. We have to be more vocal. The community board has to be more vocal, but the community board can only be more assertive if those who reside in CB9, those who work and represent the arts and arts organizations in CB9, speak up to the community board. And that, yes, one voice is required, but to get the best solutions, to pressure Columbia. But,
So,
you know, it's
so,
not done in a vacuum.
okay, so, I'll speak to Barbara. Would you guys like me to help organize this with the community board?
Well, I think that we should talk to Victor, you know, you
Yeah.
have to be the strategic planning.
Right.
You know, I think there's one, I don't know, one next week or something.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's quarter till 8 and
yeah, I'm
we have a
sorry.
lot of.
Okay, we'll talk offline on this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm speaking not of a general meeting, but just for the creative sector
Yes.
in West Harlem.
You
And
made it
those
clear.
who wanted to work with Columbia on some arts and culture issue.
Yes,
That's
very
all.
good. Juliana.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan. Just really quickly for anyone who may not get what this is, community benefits agreement in a nutshell is a document, a list of promises or a list of requirements or a list of things that Columbia University has said that they were going to provide for this community because they have used eminent domain so much and have taken up so much of the land and the resources in the community. This is their payback. And it is the West Harlem Development Corp is actually one of the things that came out of the community benefits agreement. West Harlem Development Corp actually facilitates the funding that is one of the benefits for the community. So it is, you know, we're all involved in this, and as Jonathan was saying, I put links to both of the documents. Community benefits agreement is the one that we've been going by. They're saying now that they're going by the covenants document, but the covenants document is way more technical and you almost have to be an attorney. It's very interesting that as soon as we do a deep dive into the community benefits agreement, now they're changing to the more technical one. Oh, we're not using that anymore. We're using this. It's a lot, but as Jonathan was saying, the more of us who take a look at this, the more of us who stay involved, ask questions as Ewan is doing, the more of us who know what the promises are for us, the more likely that we can actually get these things before the time runs out. Because if we don't know about it and we never ask, then the time will run out and millions of dollars in funding and resources will just go away. One of the things in terms of space, Jonathan, I do think I remember not a specific space, but that there's supposed to be some sort of discounted space for CB9 artists and arts organizations, but we're also having trouble accessing that. I'm not going to start the conversation over. I'm going to move on, but I just wanted to throw that out there for everyone who is here to understand. Please take a look at those documents, and please stay connected. Please ask questions, and please let us know if you're trying to access some of the benefits that are due you and you're not able to do it. Okay. Ewan, is that a new hand?
No, I have a laugh for you all, and it would take 2 seconds. We're looking for a space for a historic preservation conference since last fall. I was recently quoted $10,000 for 4 hours. Not by Columbia, but another entity in that same area, $10,000. So is that the future for us? And I said, you must realize this is a not-for-profit effort and a community effort. And this facility had benefited from, certain, I don't know what you call it, what do you call it? Tax, whatever, incentives. $10,000, 4 hours.
That's even more reason for us to dig into this situation with Columbia. Okay, moving on. The aid committee update. Walter.
Okay, good evening all. What Tina and I are doing we are trying to collect information on organizations and individual artists. A lot of grants, auditions, opportunities are coming down the pike, and when we get them, we disseminate. Tina and I sent out 5 things in the last month. One of them is active until Wednesday. That's the Black Ambition 2023 competition, but that's going to expire Wednesday. Everything else is expired already, but the artists that we are emailing, we're e-blasting, a lot of them are responding and thanking us for sending them information that they're not having. It's a little, we met with Palmer about a month and a half ago, and we found that it's a little difficult to get what we'd like to get because we're kind of both working on the same parallel track. But I don't like barriers, so I think we're going to try some other way too, because we're all working in the favor of the artists in Harlem. There's a lot of, especially like, during the pandemic, there was so much money coming down the pike that a lot of us weren't able to take advantage of because we didn't know. So this is very important, like when we have these monthly meetings, that you put your information into the chat, we collect, we put it on a spreadsheet, and and as soon as we get information that's relevant to, especially, like I said, money opportunities or auditions, things that are coming up, people who are playwrights, people are dancers, things that come up, we like to make sure that the community knows about it, because a lot of other communities in the city take advantage of them, and by the time we get there, it's too late. So it's been going on for a few years. There was an old list that we were not able to resuscitate, so we're working fresh. It's a little slow, it's a process, but we're getting bit by bit. So Tina is not able to be here tonight, but this is an ongoing project, and for the organizations that are on the line, as well as the individual artists, please, like what we're trying to do, and I understand people are leery about giving our personal information. This is nothing that we want. We don't want phone numbers. We would prefer an email so we can blast it out to let folks know this is going on. Please take advantage of this when you can. That's my current presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good news to that. I just wanted to add, I did talk to Barry this week, the community board and the city, you know, the world, and especially bureaucracy is sort of slow catching up with the 21st century. So we're not allowed to like have our own Facebook page or Instagram or anything like that. I keep asking the same question though, because I'm positive that it will catch up. So I just have to keep asking the same question over and over. This last time, a couple of days ago, when I asked about disseminating information, I did get that there may be a way to do a sub page to our community board, the one allowed community board page. If so, we are going to be able to have a landing place for this information. So instead of that our subcommittee having to go out and try and gather every single artist, we can just invite the artist to come to one place and find out where the resources are. The other thing that I talked to him about was using the link kiosks that are around the neighborhood. At the very least to have, you know, the information where they can go, even if it's like a long listing of something, there will be information where they can go, and we're working on that. So
that's a good
stay
thing.
tuned.
I would just suggest that we would duplicate. So if we are able to use that sub page, we still use our e-blast. And as far as the links on the kiosks are concerned, I'm on St. Nicholas. There are none from the beginning of St. Nicholas all the way up. I was up in Fort Washington today. There's not one in the street. There's a few on Amsterdam and a few on 145th Street. So that's any kind of way to disseminate information is fine. But that's just I wish it was more available to the residents, because people, the project that Anita did, people are, I'm still on that, and people are calling me saying that I see you on the kiosk. So anyway, just to make sure that the information is gathered. So that's fine. I would, that's any way we can just get the information out to the folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The last is the RKO task force. Are there any updates? Ilana, Walter, is anything?
Dan Cohen took a leave of absence from what I understand.
Okay, so if
everything
there's
was
not, we can just move on because we're
okay,
really
right.
late.
So we're gonna
Just
move on.
if
Yeah, we're
there's
gonna
no
move on. I want
update.
to pick that up if I can, but we're gonna move on.
Okay, so there's no update, correct?
We haven't heard anything, so yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Walter. I didn't mean to just.
Oh,
cloud
that's
you.
fine.
I
We're
just-
playing in the sake of time. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so we already talked to the NOMA presentations. Our first presentation is Children's Art Carnival. Michael Unthank.
Audio, there you are. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi there.
So I'm going to be brief because I know we are getting late, but I have a couple of things I can just tell you. First of all, the Children's Art Carnival goes back about 50 years. We're located at 62 Hamilton Terrace, and it was founded by Betty Blayton Taylor, a very well-known artist, very highly collected artist, and also one of the founders, the original founders of the Studio Museum in Harlem. She passed away probably back in about 2016. And since then, we've really been trying to get the organization back up and running. And we're having some success. So I'm happy about that. And I guess I wanted to tell you just a few things about what we're doing right now. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Let me see if I've got it here. Oh yeah, here it is. Good. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in 2020, I think, or 2021, we did receive a grant from West Harlem Development Corporation, and we partnered with the Centro Cívico Cultural Dominicano organization, which is at 145th Street and just east of Riverside Drive. And we've had a long-running partnership with them. And in building that partnership, we built this platform called West Harlem Arts. the objective is to really support and focus on visual artists primarily in West Harlem, directly here in West Harlem, and build bridges to the community for them, provide professional development support, also find ways to get their artwork out into the community. And so we've developed the West Harlem platform, first in COVID as an exhibition platform, which was basically virtual. And then I think last year we did a live exhibition of about 13 West Harlem artists, which was absolutely beautiful. Here you see, these are the old days when the Children's Art Carnival was down the hill at the Harlem School of the Arts. These give you something about each organization. This was our 2021 visual arts exhibition kind of postcard. And now we are in the process of building West Harlem Arts Banner exhibition, which is part of West Harlem Arts. The theme is emergency, because we're emerging from the pandemic, and it's about artist expression around what matters in community, what are the issues in our community, and how best to express them. And the idea about the banner project is to partner individual artists with organizations of different kinds to build the banner project, and each artist and organization will design a banner, and then we will find sites, identify sites to display these banners sometime towards the late spring, early summer. This is, it's a one artist to one community organization. Here's a list of some of the 7 artists that we've selected from our roster of artists that have been with us since the beginning of the initiative. And then here are some of the organizations that are going to partner with the artists to build the banners. So that is what's going on now. We had banner orientation last week that brought the organizations and artists together at CAC's space. They spent about 3 or 4 hours just talking and really trying to pair up and get to know one another. That was very, very successful and very exciting, actually. We had a thinkers panel, which was comprised of these folks, most of whom are actually from West Harlem, just to give, earlier on, to give some concept and some direction to what the program would be and how to develop the program. So that's basically what we're about right now. We're working on that now. We have also several exhibitions that are coming up this from now through the spring. One is up right now called Women and Children, which is an exhibition of a collection of work that came from Durban, South Africa, and was donated to us actually by a neighbor in Hamilton Heights in 2018. Collection, what we're showing is about 26 panels. Each panel is matched with a piece of poetry. They're quite beautiful. The artists are quite, it's a collect. Some of it is print, some of it is painting. There are probably some photographic pieces that all make up this collection. And our 26 pieces might comprise maybe half of the collection. So one of the objectives we have is to try to find a place to store it safely and to find a place to exhibit, to be able to exhibit the entire collection in one fell swoop. So you can visit our website, which is still in development, but I think it has most of the activities up at this point. And also you can always feel free to reach out to me. I think I put my name in and email address in the chat. And you know, we want folks to come and enjoy the Children's Art Carnival. We're trying to build a hub there. We own the building. It's a nice space. It's not the biggest space. We have a beautiful garden that we're cultivating, and we have several artists that are in residence there, and it's a very good vibe. So reach out, and thank you for having me this evening. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Children's Art Carnival? I have a question. How does an artist get down with you? Like, how do they?
Call me up. Come over to the space, come to an opening.
And do you,
Yeah.
do you also work with photographers?
Yeah, in fact, I guess I didn't mention that, I'm not trying to take up all the time, but we have, excuse me, hold on to your seats. We have a functioning black and white darkroom. So we actually have a photography program going on. It's small, it needs to grow. So yes, we are into photographers. We worked last year with Infoco, had an I don't know if you guys know Infoco. They're about as old as the Children's Art Carnival. Founded originally by Charles Biasini Rivera in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, to promote Puerto Rican artists back in the day. And since then, it's really grown. It's mostly a Latino organization, but it is definitely an organization that supports photographers of color. And so we have partnered with them for the past several years to present exhibitions of their fellows and their soon-to-be fellows. So yes, absolutely. Reach out. We can tell you all about the darkroom and how you can hook up with them.
I have a brand new bestseller that if you want it, you can have.
Yeah, what are you doing with it, Ewan?
I bought it when I was into photography and I was going to set up a dark room at home, but I never did. That was years ago, but it's brand new.
We'll use it. We'll use it.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
reach
bring
out
it.
to you.
I'll
Thank you.
connect with you on it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? But everyone is welcome. We're really trying to get people into space. So Ewan had called me the other day. I think she has someone that might want to use the space. It's not, the parlor gallery is a relatively small space, but it's good for meetings. It's good for small gatherings. It's good for readings. And obviously it's good for exhibitions. So we will try to make that affordable. Won't be $10,000 unless you have $10,000 just falling out of your pocket.
I'm glad to hear that.
In which case we will take it. So.
But I need a space for 200 people.
Oh yeah, that space is, that space will never fit 200 people.
Okay, we gotta move on, y'all. We have to move on. I'm so
Fair
sorry.
enough. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Michael.
I'm sorry, I also have to go. I apologize.
Yeah, many presentations still.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sure. Take care.
And the next is Faces of Harlem.
Hi everyone. I'm so
May I just remind everyone, please keep it 6 minutes or less. 6 minutes or less. Thank you.
Right. Good evening, everyone. So I'm really happy to be here. Happy Monday. I did create like a short slideshow. So I don't know if that's preferred or if I should just, ad lib and just speak about it, but I'll see if I can share my screen and just share some of the slides that I created. Let's see if that works. If not, I'll just ad lib and, just go off and just talk about, do like my general pitch. Let's see if this works. Desktop 1, I guess. Okay, share. As an artist, I'm not the most tech savvy person. Open system preferences, I guess. Okay. Let's see if this works.
There should be a green share screen button.
Yeah, I already went there. So there are some other prompts. It asks me to follow. So let's see. Are you able to see my screen or?
No.
Yes, no?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay, share. Open system preferences. If not, I can just, share this after the fact. If you can't see it by now, I just think we should move on because we're short for time. Yes, no?
No.
Okay, all right. So again, I'm Sade. I am a documentary
social documentary, street portraiture photographer. I've been in Harlem since 1991. I started this project and I didn't know Mid Faces of Harlem when I started it, but with a background in psychology and sociology, I, really had a deep interest in documenting people within my community. And also as, the diaspora was really changing. And this presented itself in a photographic journey, obviously, since that's my medium that I work in, right? So I've started documenting people that I came to know along the way, and have been doing this now for over 25 years. So in, I would say 2018, pardon me, I had invited other photographers to participate in this project because, you can't do anything by yourself, right? And I found it more interesting to see how other people would respond to this. And there's so many stories to be told, right? As a Harlemite, I can only tell stories from my perspective. And I really wanted to see, more voices and, people's stories. So I started inviting other photographers to share in my experience, really, to document us as Harlemites as we are today, right? And then I had applied for a grant. I had this idea that I really wanted to display this as a photo exhibit, being that, I also curate, and had applied for a grant, and I had a concept, an idea that I wanted to do an exhibit, and an outdoor exhibit in particular, because I wanted to make it more accessible. Having worked, in various fields within the industries, I'd come across, the fact that, us as, community, we often end up in places, where it's not accessible to us, right? Our stories are being told by others, not by ourselves. We don't have autonomy at the end of the day of how our stories are being told and reflected, right? So I really wanted for us to see ourselves in the most positive light, if I so may, right? And from a historical perspective as well, right? To be able to document these stories in spaces and places where it's accessible to us, right?
1 minute.
Well, anyways, so I started Faces of Harlem. We had an exhibition in 2021 with the concept of highlighting photography, because it's really undermined in the world of fine arts. We did 100 photos in 4 historical parks: Morningside, Marcus Garvey, Jackie Robinson, and Rutgers. It was very successful. We came back last year in 2022 in Morningside. So, it was more of a focus of like coming out of the pandemic. We told more intimate stories. We were able to enter into people's houses and really be able to interact with people, right? So last year we did the exhibit in Morningside Park. It was fantastic. And this year we're coming back again in 2023, doing it again. And, this was not intended to be like a one-off project. It's something that, really we want to document Harlemites, who we are today, and to really, be able to tell our stories from our perspectives, with having everyone involved from, the photographers. And it's a collaboration of everyone, the people who are sitting for portraits, people who are wanting to tell their stories. So, and there's so many stories again. So just doing 100 photographs of 100 people is not enough, because Harlem is such a large and such a vast and such a amazing community of people with so many stories that we want to continue this for, you know, many, many years to come, right? So again, we're doing this photo exhibit this year in Morningside Park, and we're really looking forward to again showcase, you know, who we are as Harlemites from a photographic perspective through visual storytelling. And yeah, that's where we're at. We're really excited. We even have 5 youth photographers this year who is going to be participating. We wanted that to be a larger part, a component of last year. Last year we had 3 youth photographers. This year we're expanding on making it more, you know, more accessible, which is, you know, is ultimately part of the plan to making it more accessible and for the youth to really be involved. So that's really exciting this year. And just to build on this whole, you know, concept. Yeah.
Can you take questions? Are there any questions? No questions for Faces of Harlem?
Yep, we have an open call coming up next week. So I'm going to announce that on our social media and on our website. We had an open call last year. This year, we are expanding on that to make it more accessible as well. We do have photographers with already, you know, existing bodies of work that dates back. So that's, you know, more historical, but yes, we will have open calls coming up next Friday, actually, that I'm going to be posting up. So I'm looking forward to receive any and all, you know, submissions. Yeah.
Thank you. Put your information in the chat, please.
Yeah, will do.
Thank you so much, Faces of Harlem. Next presentation is Pentacle.
Yeah.
Hi.
Could I interject one quick question? Sorry, I was on mute. The photographers, are they mostly or all from West Harlem, or they're from, you know, where?
No, so it's called Faces of Harlem basically because all the subjects, all the stories are about the people from Harlem. The only criteria is for the youth photographers to be from Harlem because we really want to highlight the youth and really build on that. But the photographers are local photographers from New York. So the criteria for the photographers to participate, it's not that they're from Harlem.
Right.
Stories and the subjects, again, as I said, it's all about people from Harlem. So there needs to be some sort of interconnectivity that if you know, are looking to, if as a photographer, I mean, I work subject-based, I do longitudinal studies, right? So if there is a story that you've been working on to document, obviously it needs to be based in Harlem, right? But yeah, the criteria for the adults, the photographers, no, they don't need to be from Harlem, but the youth photographers, yes, that's very specific. All the youth photographers needs to be from Harlem, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, Pentacle.
Yes.
Thank you, Faces of Harlem.
will-
Sade.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for being here. I don't have a slideshow or anything. I'm just going to talk with you guys openly about how it's been going. So we have a great teaching artist at Urban Assembly, School for the Performing Arts, teaching ballet to 9th through 12th graders. She's been with the school and Pentacle. She's been with the school since 2018 and Pentacle even longer. So this is a very long established relationship and very comfortable at this point. She's been an integral part of the dance program at the school, and that's really great to watch and to witness. And it's strengthened every year. So she's teaching 9th through 12th grade. There's a lot of her main, I would say, challenge is in general is attendance, but she's dealt with it in some really great ways and kind of you can see the differences throughout each grade, how she handles that and the impact it makes. So it's nice. There are performances 2 a year. They had their winter showcase in December and at the Lenfest Performing Arts Center, I believe. And that was their first one, I think, since 2019. So the first in-person showcase. So that was awesome. And then there will be a spring concert also in May. May 20th of this year at the MLK Educational Complex on the Upper West Side. And I think if there anything, yeah, I mean, that's really what you guys will want to hear. I do want to thank West Harlem Development Corporation for the support and helping us keep executing this program for the students at Urban Assembly. And that's it for me. Are there any questions, anything that you'd like to hear specifically?
Any questions for Pentacle?
Would you put your website in the chat, please?
Absolutely. Now, I will say Pentacle does quite a few different things, and the education outreach programs are just one facet. We have a lot of fiscal services for early to mid-career artists and a roster, and so all of these things, but I'm here specifically for, obviously, for education outreach programs. Okay.
Thank you very much. Next, and I'll let you know what order we're in. It's going to be Notes and Motions, the Moving Memory Project, Socially Relevant Film Festival, and then USA Mali Charitable Association. Okay, so next is Notes in Motion.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Selwyn. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's good. Let me know if you all can see it.
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I know it's late and I'm just gonna go really quickly. I'm gonna start macro and just introduce our organization, let you know who we are, what we do. And then I'm just gonna zoom in on what we're doing. Also similar to Pentacle's presentation, we're working with Urban Assembly for the Performing Arts. We've actually been working with that school since 2018 as well. But just to give you a little bit of information, I'm the founder, artistic director of Amanda Selwyn Dance Theater Notes in Motion. Notes in Motion is our arts education arm. We've been a vendor of the city since 2005, providing dance education programs in all 5 boroughs. We provide programs pre-K through 12th grade in a range of dance styles and techniques. We have programs in ballet, modern, jazz, tap, hip hop, Latin dance, African dance. All of our programs are rooted by the blueprint for teaching and learning in the arts. What makes Notes in Motion unique is whatever style of dance we're teaching, whatever age we're working with, our programs combine technique-based instruction with creative instruction. So this is really what our methodology is all about. It's about empowerment, giving students tools to express themselves through the art form of dance. So whether we're doing a culturally responsive program and students are engaging with the heritage and history behind the dance form, or we are doing a program where students get to develop their own choreography, or they're learning to put their own improvisational score together, there's always opportunities to develop the agency of the students in the program. We custom design our programs. This picture on the bottom right is actually from Urban Assembly, from a performance at the MLK that we did a few years ago. Yeah, so we work with the schools to design the program. So what's really great is that we don't have any sort of cookie cutter program. Every school we work with, whatever neighborhood in the city, we're sitting down with the school leaders and talking with them about what can we do to enrich your community through dance. And we also work with the schools to find funding. And this program has been funded by the West Harlem Development Corporation. And we're able to apply for the grant and to get the funds for the program. In the past, we did a lot of other creative things. We've also gotten MLL grants from the Department of Ed to serve this school and other different grant opportunities that have come up. During the pandemic, we pivoted. We did a lot of things online. We did a range of programs for the students when schools were hybrid, but we've been back in person at Urban Assembly and all of our other sites since schools reopened. In our programs, we provide a minimum of 10 teaching sessions, professional development for the classroom teachers, assessment, evaluation. As you can see throughout this presentation, because dance is such an ephemeral art form, we really believe in sharing lots of photo and video so that we can create memories within the community of the experience that we share. So we we provide a lot of resources for the schools. We also give the teachers detailed lesson plans. And at a performing arts school like Urban Assembly, one of the things that's so wonderful is they get to bring in a range of choreographers in different styles. And the style we're working with is street jazz. And it's just an opportunity to enrich the dance teacher's vocabulary for teaching. Whatever program we're working with, we focus on inclusive learning, meeting the students where they are, whether they are advanced dance technicians or it's their first dance class. We really feel that everyone has the capacity to be a dancer. We are very proud of the fact that we, with few exceptions, have 100% participation. Students want to dance. Once they're given a safe space and the freedom to express themselves, we find they all, boys, girls, all ages, all grades, all cultural backgrounds, all want to dance. And we also try to really engage the families in the experience. We do community programs for parents. We invite parents into the classroom for open classes. And we do a lot of culminating events where we engage the families in the programming. This is just a quick snapshot. We had enormous growth last year, and we actually served 71 New York City public schools, but just to get a sense of what we've done. And in our 22 years in New York City, we've served over 100, and actually this number is now up to about 125,000 students. This was from last few months ago. But one of the things that's really important is 77% on average of the students we're serving are economically disadvantaged. So these are not students that would have the resources outside of school to necessarily be taking dance classes. So we really do think it's important to go into the school and provide these resources within their community. And then this is just a little snapshot of a couple of our culminating performances. On the left is a tap program, on the right is an African dance program. And I just wanted to close my presentation. This is a video of what's going on right now at Urban Assembly. So just just gonna stop that video, sorry. So thank you all for listening. So that was just a little snapshot of bringing joy through dance. We really love working at Urban Assembly for the Performing Arts, and we're loving getting to work with the advanced dance students. We also are providing programs for 9th through 12th grade there. And that's a snapshot. Our teaching artist there, his name is Rohan Bhargava. Fantastic teaching artist, has been working with us for about 5 years, and he does Bollywood classes, he does street jazz, does a little hip hop and contemporary dance, working with different ages throughout the city. He actually was teaching at Urban Assembly for us in 2019, 2020 when the pandemic hit, and then he pivoted online and was teaching classes from his apartment for a few months after that. So we've had different teaching artists back at UAPA since then, but it's great to have him back at the school.
Can you take questions?
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course. Yeah.
Are there any questions for Notes in Motion? You answered my question. I was gonna ask you, was that Bollywood they were doing?
We love working with props. He's doing like a little Bollywood street jazz kind of hybrid, and working with the fans is really fun. He has different props with each class. So I thought that was fun just to see what they're doing with the fans.
Okay. Thank you so
much. I had a quick question.
Sure.
Rentals, I put it in the chat though, that the studio space looks really nice. Do you have rentals there for groups who need studio space for rehearsals?
Yeah, that's actually the studio space at Urban Assembly for performing arts. So it's a performing arts high school. So they have a dance studio. They have
okay.
they have a lot of resources in the school. So yeah, it's a small studio, but it's a nice space. And
is it here in Harlem?
Yep, it's in West Harlem.
So you might want to put the address in the chat for
Sure.
people who.
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah. And yeah, and they partner with the MLK. That's where we do the performance, and they bring in all of the guest artists and they perform there in the spring because they do a really big performance for hundreds and hundreds of families. Yeah.
Okay, we got to move on.
Thank you all
so much for that presentation. The next is the Moving Memory Project, Stephanie Nelson.
Fantastic. Thank you, Daria and Jonathan, for having me. The Moving Memory Project, I have a dance company called Stephanie Nelson Dance Group, and we are a West Harlem-based contemporary performance ensemble, as well as a public service-driven and education-focused organization. We use dance for healing and empowerment. And I'm just going to tell you about our upcoming event. The Moving Memory Project began back in 2019. We had our first event at City College Center for the Arts, and we have an upcoming event on April 20th, which I would like to invite all of you to. And I want to thank West Harlem Development Corporation for funding it, as well as New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, UMES, and National Endowment for the Arts. Super grateful for all the funding. And to be finally doing work, performing in my community. Most of the work has been sort of downtown dance scene, and all of the venues have been not in the neighborhood I live and work in. And so I'm super grateful to be now partnered with, partnered in quotes, with the Broadway Presbyterian Church. They have a beautiful sanctuary space that's actually quite beautiful for dance performances. And we did our first one there in February 10th, and it was much better than I had expected it was going to be. They brought in a lighting designer from Abrams, who also works with the church, and they set up what felt like a very professional dance performance space. So we have an upcoming event on April 20th. It's an iteration of the Moving Memory Project. I have a personal relationship to memory and forgetting, and I've been creating a lot of work around sort of thematically around that. So April 20th at 7:30, the doors will be open. It's a free event. And what it will be is we're going to have a community movement class hosted by Dances for a Variable Population, another West Harlem development organization. They do incredible work here. And so we're super excited to have Naomi or one of her teachers lead a 15 to 30 minute sort of movement party class for whoever's there. And we're hoping it's going to be a lot of seniors, but I know that it's tricky to get seniors to come out at night. So we're kind of figuring out how to get seniors there. And I would love Walter to talk to you about that, but I can follow up after the meeting because I know it's already 8:30 and everybody wants to go eat dinner. We're going to have a performance of a new work of mine based on a play called Nostra Dea, which is basically the protagonist is a memoryless person and she takes on the identity of whatever she's wearing. So we're going to be sharing an iteration of this new work with the community. David Schenk, who is the author of The Forgetting and does a lot of work with Cure Alzheimer's Fund, he's going to moderate a discussion post-showing. He's going to talk to me and ask me questions, the performers, and he'll talk a little bit about his experience working with dementia-related events. He actually also started the Living with Alzheimer's Film Festival a long time ago. So post moderated discussion, there's going to be a live music by a Manhattan School of Music musicians. So we're really trying to hug and embrace all the West Harlem artists that we can in this event. And there'll be a dance party and there'll be social wine, snacks, everybody hang out, talk, meet, and just engage in the space that we're in. So that's April 20th. I could talk a lot about my organization, but there's no time, and I'm really here to invite you to that event. Anyone who's interested, please find me. The website is sndancegroup.org. I'll put it in the chat now. And anybody who has connections to senior groups who would be interested in coming for part or all of it, please reach out to me. I am grateful to be here, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Walter.
Yes, Stephanie. We're having a senior resource meeting in May 2nd. please, if you can send a representative, because that's how you'll be able to reach all of this, as most of the seniors in our catchment area, okay? I'm gonna put my information in the chat for you.
Okay,
And
thank
also
you.
Carlton Davis, who's the other co-chair, who's here also.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Were
I
there
mean,
any
that's
more
going to be too
questions?
late for our April 20th event, but certainly for future, that would
There
be
you go.
fantastic.
There you go. Bring information, bring handouts. They love that stuff, okay?
Okay.
Any more questions for the Moving Memory Project? Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And now we have Nora from
Yeah.
Socially Relevant Film Festival, New York.
Great. Thank you so much. And again, I, like everyone else, am very grateful to be here and to be able to share our wonderful program with everybody. I would love to share my screen, and I'm trying to see how best to do that. I'm going to give you a quick tour of our website. The film festival, which is called Socially Relevant Film Festival, has been in existence for the past 10 years. I am based in West Harlem, and that's where the festival was born. But we haven't always catered to this community. We have had to go from one venue to another over the years because each venue that we went to closed or the rents were hiked, and then we had to start over and look for other places. And in Upper Manhattan, we've collaborated with the Maisel Cinema in the past, and now we are coming back to doing our program, which we did 2 years ago, called Rejoice, Resist, BIPOC Films, which was focused on Black, Indigenous people of color, specifically of this neighborhood, of our Harlem neighborhood and area. And we did a open air screening, block party, and so on and so forth at that point. And right now we are funded by the West Harlem Development Corporation. And under that, we are doing the new section of, I'll show you, here it is. I'll share my screen quickly. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So we are, the festival, it's of course 10th anniversary, and this is our website, 16th to the 31st. That's the entire festival, opening at the Lincoln Center and then coming uptown. These are all the films we are screening this year. It's 70 films from 23 countries. But what interests us most in this program is the section that goes here, Rejoice, Resist, BIPOC Films. And that's section is from March 20th to 23rd. It starts at MRHS, which is the Morningside Retirement and Health Services, which caters for elderly residents of this community, and I happen to be on their board as well. And what it does is helps people age in place in their own houses without having to move to a nursing home, because they can't take care of their daily requirements. We already did a short program there under the Rejoice Resist program on Black History Month last Monday on the 27th. And this is the continuation of that. So we come back on the 20th of March at 5:30 p.m. and we screen 3 different films which have to do with the topic. Then we go to Dear Mama, which is up on 129th, and it's the new Columbia structure, but it has nothing to do with Columbia University. It is a private organization, and they have given us the space to use. It's going to be a fantastic event with 5 film screening, then a panel discussion on diversity and representation on screen. How are BIPOC people represented, and why this, why that, and so on. And it's capped, the evening is capped by a hip hop band and music by Division X. And here is the full program of what's going on under the Rejoice Resist program. After that, we also are offering at the Thurgood Marshall Community Room a smartphone filmmaking workshop for community, for people, for artists who would want to learn about that. Then we are also doing a couple of screenings at Columbia University's Maison Française. These are mostly French language films, but they talk about the BIPOC experience in different communities and different cultures. And then on the 23rd, it's the only event that is not exactly in CB9, but it's just the street across the street, because we were having such a hard time finding, as I said earlier, the venue we needed. So we had to go to JCC Harlem. And that's going to involve a film screening, a live presentation, Q&A, followed by a jazz performance by Harlem resident Kim Thomas, and then a jazz trio after the award ceremony where we give out the awards to the competing filmmakers. So it's a full program, and this PDF is downloadable on the website. I am going to stop sharing the screen because it's I am putting here the website information and an RSVP email where you can respond. And please, as community members, I would be delighted, or we would be delighted to offer you invitations. So please, whoever wants to attend, it opens next Thursday, on Thursday coming up on the 16th. And then we come uptown on the 20th, from the 20th to the 23rd, we are in our favorite area of our homes and our cultural belonging to this area. So I think that's enough for me to say, but I forgot to say in the beginning when I presented myself that I'm first and foremost an actor, a theater and film actor. But 10 years ago, I was having enough of seeing violence on screen, not only on screen, also on the streets, and not only violent movies and violent forms of filmmaking, but posters that evoke violence with guns and stabbing and blood and all sorts of things. And I felt we need to offer an alternative form of entertainment. And that's how the festival was born. And after 9 editions and 600 films screened from 40 countries, I am so grateful that we were able to survive 2 years of COVID and being online. So if anybody has questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And again, I invite you all to come and join the fun.
Anybody have questions for the socially relevant film festival? Walter.
What's the cost?
I'm sorry?
The cost. How much is it?
You mean the tickets?
Yes.
Oh, the tickets are only $7.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, it's $7 for individual screenings. We have an early bird going on right now, or $100 for the entire thing, including the VIP opening at Lincoln Center and all that. And then with all the uptown section, it stays at $7. It doesn't go to the full price, which is $12, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Any
And
more questions?
one more thing, it's free for students. Any student from any college or any school that comes to the festival and shows us a student ID, they get in free of charge.
What about seniors?
Oh, yeah, of course. The senior, for example, the MRHS screenings that we are doing, it's free.
Yay.
Yeah. Free, everything is free.
Any more questions for Nora? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, because it's as you can see, it's a passion project, and you can't go 10 years without support from a team and the community and people who believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. To
Excuse me, Daria. Before we keep going on, I just need to know if Harlem Stage will be able to present today.
We can't have it today. Can you just hit me up on email? You have to be put on the agenda.
Okay, we had spoke a couple weeks ago, so I was just under the impression that we was gonna be able to make it happen. With you, I spoke to you and Jonathan, but now I am clearly that I'm not gonna be able to perform, present. So understood. I was under the impression that I would be able to, but thank you all for letting me know that's not happening.
Okay, I'm sorry there was a misunderstanding, but please hit us up after the meeting and we'll get you on for the next meeting. To Johnny.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm here to present UMACA, a Harlem-based not-for-profit organization. UMACA works to promote the Mandingo heritage in New York, but mainly in Harlem.
What does UMACA
Because
stand for? Sorry.
USA Mali Charitable Association of New York, and doing business as a Malian Cultural Center. The Mandingo culture represent like 6 different West African countries. We want to promote the culture of that particular region here in Harlem because of the sizable immigrant community of Harlem coming from West Africa. Also, the African American of West African descent. So basically, we try to bring in the dance, the cultural heritage, the storytelling of that part of the world to Harlem. And the program that's being funded by West Harlem Development Corporation is called Sounds of the South. We try to promote diversity and multiculturalism right now. And we're working with an Indian artist. So we have African dance and Indian dance that we are promoting at 125 public school. So for the last 5 years, we're having these 2 programs, and like cultural evening, we work with public school 125 and public school 4 in Harlem. And we also have a citywide initiative funded by the Cultural Department Fund, CDF. So we promote West African culture, but since the Department of Cultural Affairs encourage all cultural organizations to work with organizations of different backgrounds, we work with a Mexican group, and for the last 2 years we've been working with an Indian band. So I will be brief. It's mainly West African, with promotion of West African culture right here in Harlem. Thank you.
And you said you work with PS 25 and PS 4?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's PS 25? I don't know where either one of those.
Ralph Bunchy.
Ralph Bunch.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there
And
any
PSR
questions?
is a Duke Ellington public school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Juan.
Yes.
You talk about storytelling. Are you talking about stories from Mali in Africa?
Yeah, Mali and Guinea, principally.
So
Because the
you know this,
Mandingo Empire was founded like basically Mali and Guinea, and it's expanded to Gambia, southern Senegal, Sierra Leone, and so on.
are you
But
familiar with the,
basically, it is Mali.
I'm sorry, are you familiar with the story of Sundiata?
Yeah, Sunjata, that's the founder of the Malian Empire. And
yeah,
we are proud to say that before the French Revolution, we had a meeting when Sunjata won power. He called everybody and he tell everybody like free enterprises. Everybody is free to enterprise whatever they want to. So that was like the basis of the foundation of the Empire of Mali.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd be surprised to know that at City College, when I went there in 1955, not really in 2000, in 1990 something, we studied Sandiata. It's part of our requirement reading.
Wow, excellent. I'm proud to learn. I'm very happy to learn that. Wow.
Okay.
There is something about Sandiata. I say we call the meeting Kurukanfuga. That's when you call the different king of that region, and he gave them freedom. So there was like no slavery. Everybody was free to do whatever they wanted to do, like trade, agriculture, anything. So we call it the basis of democracy actually in one.
Were there any more questions for Tijani? Any more? Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is old business, and actually that is a mistake. There is no old business unless someone has any. Is there any new business? Then we just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it has been moved by the Honorable Walter Alexander and seconded by the Honorable Jonathan Senegub. We are officially adjourned at 8:48 p.m. I thank you all for your attendance. Please, I'm gonna stay on for just a minute or two. Save the chat. Then you can have everybody's contact information. You can also have the links to the community benefits agreement and the other document as well. So, and if you don't know how to save the chat, if you're on a laptop, all the way at the bottom of the chat next to the happy face, there's 3 dots. Tap the 3 dots, click on the 3 dots up at the top, it'll say save chat. And you save it and it'll go, it'll save to your computer.
Yeah, quick question.
Yes.
How do we get our attendance sheet signed?
You email it to us. You email it to all 3 of the emails that I told you, because we are volunteers. So that's why there
Like all
are,
of us.
yeah, that's why there are 2 chairs, and we also have the dedicated email. We want to make sure you get it. So please put all 3 emails on your form. Send it to us sooner rather than later, and we'll get it back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I don't even know
I
if I
can't
have
save
my
the chat.
form.
I'm sorry. So 2 people said something at the same time. Repeat that, somebody.
No,
I
I
was
just
going
said
to-
I sent mine in already, so I hope you received it, and you
I
know,
think you
whenever
did get
whenever
yours.
time permits.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know where my form is. I asked Joanna, but I don't know if I got it back.
You can find it in on their website under.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's there, and download it and forward it. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't save the chat, Daria. Where did you say the dots were?
All the way next to the smiley face at the bottom of the chat. Like if you
Uh-huh.
were going to type a message, you see the smiley face.
Yeah,
You see the 3 dots next to it.
yeah,
Tap that. Tap the 3 dots. And at the top, it'll
yeah.
say save chat.
Unfortunately, it doesn't show on my computer. That's what I thought you said.
Yeah, when you
All right,
click on the
never
3
mind.
dots, you don't see save chat.
I
What do
see
you
all
see?
the emojis, yeah.
No, don't click on the happy face. There are 3 dots to the
Next.
right of the happy face.
Yeah.
It's like an ellipses, ...
Yeah, I clicked on it. It's save the chat. Not to worry, it's okay. I'll just copy it, Just give me one
I'll
second.
send it to you, Joanne.
Okay, thanks,
But
John.
where does it save it? I did it, but
It saves it to your computer. You have to go. I have a Mac and it saves it in my Finder, like in my recent like downloads.
oh, okay.
So I'm not sure where it goes on PC, but
Right,
it's saving like recent downloads.
I think if you have Word, you can copy it there and open up an empty Word document and paste it there. That's what I just did.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that too. Well, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
all for
Good
coming.
night, all.
Thank you. And we
Good night,
still
Paul.
got out
Good night,
before
everybody.
9 o'clock. So I thank you all for your patience and for your lovely presentations. Really, it was a really great meeting. So thank you all.
It was.
Thank you. Bye. Come to the festival. You're all invited.
Sounds great.
We would love, and make sure if you have events coming up, please send them to our district office so it can be blasted to the community.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's thousands of people, it goes out to thousands of people. So for all of your events, please do send them into youth at the district office.
Will do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sade, I definitely want to plug in with you.
We're
So
gonna talk, yes,
yeah, I'll be in
definitely. I'm
touch.
so happy to see, photography, which is so underrated.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, I am really accelerated to, meet with everyone and, get feedback and, just it's a collaboration.
Absolutely.
All different levels. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
And
been-
great to meet you.
thank you all for, it's been a pleasurable evening. Thank you for meeting you all, and I hope to meet with you all in the future.
Great. Take care.
Good night.
Good night, all. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Good night, Jonathan.
Good night, Daria. Feel better.
Thanks. Good night, Carlton. The youth are not even, they must not even know we're here. We're leaving.